guys. Nice to see you. How's everybody doing? Everybody have a great weekend?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How was yours?
It was good. Yeah, I was up late watching the Oscars, but other than that, I'm
Yep.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. All happy. I'm so happy for our Sarah Polly.
I know I cried a bit.
Right?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I think everyone, I think a collective cheer went up like everywhere in Montreal, Toronto.
I think the CN Tower lit up. I could see it,
Yeah.
from yeah, it was all good. Well, listen, let's talk about your film, because one day we're going to see you guys at that podium. So I can tell you. But congratulations! What my God, heartwarming. I mean, I just really love this movie. Mark, I wanted to start with you because you guys have known each other for almost a decade. You've been thinking about this, working on it. So what was basically, my first question, the genesis of you guys starting to write the script and then your collaboration of writing it together? So what was that like, Mark?
Well, Sarah and I had been friends for a couple of years, and she took me out one night to have a drink at a dive bar in Montreal, and just started telling stories about her, background, and I hadn't really known anything about it, and I certainly didn't know a lot about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I didn't really know her story. She originally grew up in Yellowknife in the north, and just had such a fascinating story. And in hearing these stories, it wasn't like there was a specifically like your life should be a movie, but inspired by that background, indirectly, I think. I was like, we should write a movie together because I think you have a sensibility. I think you have a lot to say. And I had, I'd made films at that point, and it just seemed like a great collaboration. And so it turned out to be. It was almost 10 years ago exactly that we first sat down in that dive bar.
Amazing, right?
Sarah, do you want to tell your side of that?
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear your side, Sarah, because also for the fact that you are taking, from things that you grew up as, and, I know it's not your life, the story, but based on, and a lot of people don't know a lot about Jehovah's Witness. I think that we also hear the bad things about it, which was really important to you not to put it in the film, So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, telling Mark stories of my childhood growing up in this religion, it's not story. They're not bad stories. They're not nightmare stories of a cult. They are, my family was warm and welcoming in many ways, and it was just all the little things that seem very strange to people that are not in it, and like language, and it's definitely like a subculture. It's definitely something odd that we were very determined to not make into a very obvious villain, because that's too easy, and that's not really where the problem is in the story. It's about belief and love, and yes, the religion has an effect on their relationship, but not in the obvious way. They're not like a big terrible bad church in the way that many churches are.
Well, not just churches, like all religions, right? Like you can't just hold one, because everybody has their views, no question about it. And then Mark, you hit the jackpot with these two actresses. Like, was that a hard find? My goodness, like cha-ching.
Well, we worked with a great Toronto-based casting agent named Jesse Griffiths. And Sarah and I both knew from the beginning, like, this was the single most important creative decision we could make in the film, was who to cast, because the entire film rides on them.
Yeah.
And so Jesse just made some amazing discoveries for us in terms of June, Hassani, but Sarah actually saw, maybe you could describe how you first encountered Onwin.
Yeah, I saw Onwin I had been watching like teen shows on Netflix and on CTV and things, just to get a vibe of what the teen actors were. Sure. And she was on a show, and she's wearing glasses in the show, and she was kind of dorky, but she kept doing this with her glasses, which is something that I do. And I just had a feeling about her. So I asked Jessie if she would do a tape, and she did. And there you go. Kismet, kind of.
Now you've got me wanting to push my glasses up. Thanks.
I do it too now.
And this was all good. I was wondering too, in terms, I mean, of course they have you as a reference, Sarah, but what kind of research? Like, did the girls do any kind of research into learning a little bit about Jehovah's Witness, or, you know, just to kind of get a grasp of
Yep.
what they would be going through?
I sent June only a bunch of JW texts and the JW Bible, and just June, because I didn't want Onwin to know too much about it.
Yeah.
And then otherwise we sent them a lot of reference films. I sent Onwin the book that she's reading throughout the movie, just little things to immerse them in the characters, not so much, I didn't want Onwin to like have this vast knowledge of the religion, because her character doesn't either.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Completely amazing. And then you shot in such a beautiful location. Mark, want to talk about that? It was just outside of Montreal. Is that correct?
So Saguenay is about 4 hours northeast. It's basically Canada's fjord.
Right.
So, so we knew we wanted to shoot somewhere that the story could sort of semi-realistically take place, as a small English community in the Quebec countryside, of which there are lots spotted here and there that might have a Jehovah's Witness community within it, and that had a lot of natural beauty. So we looked at Gaspé, we looked around a lot, but when we came to Saguenay, I think it really there was this beach that was on the side, it was sort of a cliff, and then there's a beach at the bottom. You see the shot in the movie a bunch where the tide goes out and it just looks like they're walking on water. And as soon as we saw that, we knew that this was somewhere we wanted to shoot and set a scene, and that was our first day of shooting there. And the forest around it and everything was just so beautiful. And we'd actually hoped that we'd get all the fall colors, but the further north we drove, like the slower fall was happening, it seemed.
Right.
But we still, I think, got a bit of that like autumnal vibe throughout the whole film.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. Sarah, I was wondering, what kind of reactions have you had from the people that have actually seen this film? Like, I know you had it at film festivals, and there's got to be some real positive feelings, I would think, for you to bring this story to the forefront. Yeah,
we've actually had quite a warm response from the ex-JW community, particularly the gay ex-JW community, of which it's quite a large group of people that have really embraced the film, and they like share the trailer and everything on their Facebook groups, and they've come up to us, all of us, at film festivals to thank us for such a true portrayal. So that has been amazing, actually, to like talk to people who went through it, who felt those things growing up. It's always amazing to hear that.
Obviously, for sure. But I'm wondering too. Oh, sorry, Mark. Did you want to mention something?
I was like, do you remember that woman who flew to New York for the Tribeca premiere from LA because she was an ex-Jehovah's Witness and heard about the film and like had to come see it?
Yeah.
See, that's amazing, because I would think when you are starting to put kind of pen to paper, so to speak, and you're writing about something like this, there's always going to be some kind of pushback, and it's brave, I think. Like, were you scared a little bit to get this all going?
I couldn't, the thing is I couldn't imagine the actual Jehovah's Witnesses seeing the movie or then talking about the movie.
Right.
I think we would more just want to ignore the movie completely. But I don't really know. I haven't been in that community for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what their response would be. I'm curious, because they're not, as I said, they're not bad guys. So it's
that's it.
Not a negative portrayal.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like I said earlier, this could have been in the Hasidic community. It could have been in a whatever, Catholic, like wherever you said it, you're still going to have people feeling this way,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, no, it's great. Well, listen, I really appreciate both your time today. It's, like I said, it's a wonderful film. And I really, 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 really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking to me today, and have a great day. Thank you.
Have a great week.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bonnie.
Okay, Bonnie, speak to you soon.